How good is education in Brazil? How good is education in Brazil? This question opens a window into a complex system that has made strides but still faces hurdles. Education in Brazil is structured into three main levels: early childhood education, basic education, and higher education. Education is compulsory and free in public schools for children ages 6 to 14, covering 9 years of fundamental education. Upper secondary education, for ages 15 to 17 or 18, is free but not mandatory. At the early childhood level, preschool education has become more accessible, with nearly 90% enrollment for children 1 year before primary school. However, this figure is slightly below averages seen in more developed countries. Basic education serves over 47 million students, with a curriculum that includes core subjects such as Portuguese, mathematics, sciences, history, and physical education. Higher levels also introduce additional languages and social sciences. Despite the laws that make education compulsory, challenges remain. Approximately 500,000 children are still unenrolled in elementary school. Dropout rates during secondary education are also relatively high. To tackle these issues, reforms have introduced more flexible study tracks and vocational training options. The average years of schooling for adults have increased to just over 10 years, showing gradual improvement. However, disparities persist. For instance, white Brazilians generally have higher average schooling years than Black or brown Brazilians. Women tend to attain slightly more education than men. Public education funding per student is significantly lower than, in many countries, that are members of the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. This affects the quality of resources and infrastructure available in schools. Class sizes in primary schools are smaller than the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development average, which can help with student attention but does not fully address other systemic issues. Higher education is available through both public and private institutions, with public universities offering free tuition. However, only about 20 to 28% of young adults attain tertiary education, with women achieving higher rates than men. The rate of youth who are not in education, employment, or training has decreased but remains a concern. From a cultural perspective, education in Brazil reflects broader social structures and inequalities that are rooted in historical and economic factors. Education is viewed as a key pathway for social mobility, but access and quality often vary greatly depending on region, race, and socioeconomic status. The cultural emphasis on family and community support influences educational participation. Yet, systemic disparities continue to limit equal opportunities for all. In practical terms, Brazil's education system is making progress in enrollment and average schooling years. However, quality and equity are still areas that need attention. Efforts to expand early childhood education, improve secondary education retention, and increase access to vocational and higher education are ongoing priorities. These initiatives align with the cultural value placed on education as a means to improve individual and collective futures in Latin America.